Hi dear friends and subscribers of Cricket Happenings. Welcome to the Daily Cricket Show. Well, so basically today there are no cricket matches actually going on. So I've been really going to every nook and cranny to really dig out some cricket news for you. And also it gives me an opportunity when cricket is not there to first and foremost thank all my dear friends and subscribers of Cricket Happenings to have made this Cricket Happening show a real success. Gives me great pleasure in sharing this with you. As I said, always I've been saying that you dear friends and subscribers are the wheels of this cricket show, and you have been doing a marvelous job by contributing, by giving me feedback, and doing whatever you can best. So keep doing that, and this cricket show is only going to grow. I'm also there on Twitter. If you know, I have 253 followers on Twitter. So anyone who would like to follow me, you can go over there and follow me. It's Ram574. That's my ID, and you can go and follow me. Dear fans and subscribers, so as I said, I've been trying to dig out some real cricket news because there's not much happening, and it's my constant endeavor as far as the Daily Cricket Show is concerned to bring all the cricket happenings around the globe. So today it gives me an opportunity to talk about a few things. But again, as I said, I've been digging, I've been cranning every nook and cranny, scanning every nook and cranny, and finally I have dug into some cricket news here. So the first cricket news that I'm going to start off with is going from India. The reason being, there is a particular match being played. This is between, as you know, it's always been played between the Ranji Trophy champions, and this time in 2014, which finished last week, the Ranji Trophy champions were Karnataka. Now Karnataka, they played Maharashtra, and Maharashtra for the first time coming into the finals of Ranji Trophy, which was a great, I would say, it was a great achievement by them. Not only that, they also pushed Mumbai out of the reckoning, and that was something which was, I think, it was phenomenal, because Mumbai has a great track record as far as Ranji Trophy matches are concerned. And the reason that I'm talking about Karnataka today, as we know, in India the tradition is that the Ranji Trophy champions take on the rest of India, and rest of India is being led by none other than Test discard Harbhajan Singh. So I'm going to talk about that game, and the reason that I'm going to talk about that game is because the Indian selectors are definitely watching that game. The young talent has to really come to the fore, no doubt about that. And the reason, as I said, I'm talking about that is because the Indian selectors are sitting there and watching that game between rest of India and Ranji Trophy champions Karnataka, and because they are going to select the Indian squad for the Asia Cup, which is coming up, and after that we are heading to the T20 World Cup in Bangladesh. So they are selecting the teams for both the tourneys. So that's the reason I'm talking about that. So let's go and see what's happening in that Ranji Trophy champions, what is happening between Ranji Trophy champions Karnataka and rest of India. Well, as far as this match is concerned, we are on day 2 right now, and day 2, the situation, I'm just going to recollect the situation for you. It was rest of India who was led by Captain Harbhajan Singh, who actually batted first, and for rest of India, they put on a score of 201. So I thought the Karnataka bowlers really bowled some very good line to pick up, and especially the captain of the Karnataka team, Vinay Kumar, bowled an excellent spell to really spell, and I'm sure Vinay Kumar is definitely in the eye of the selectors now, even though there's a lot of competition, but I'm sure Vinay Kumar would be definitely coming under the eye of the Indian selectors, because Vinay Kumar, the captain of the Karnataka team, who led his team to Ranji Trophy, to the Ranji Trophy this year, bowled 18.4 overs, 8 maidens. He gave away 47 runs and picked up 6 wickets. That's a very good performance by the Karnataka captain, leading from the front. He was supported by Sharath, who took 1 for 34. Stuart Binnie with the ball, doing a very good job. So Stuart Binnie is another one which the selectors would be watching, because as you know, he was there for the one-day international in New Zealand, but definitely didn't get a chance to bat and just bowled a solitary over. And so he's another one. And in fact, he has already done a good turn for himself, Stuart Binnie. The reason I'm saying that is because Karnataka replied with 390 for 5, and the feature being Roger Binnie, the former seam bowler, the swing bowler, Roger Binnie's son, Stuart Binnie, was undefeated on 115 of 107 balls with 14 fours and 3 sixes, with Gautam not out on 6 when stumps were drawn on the second day here. And Karnataka had already taken a very good lead. In fact, it's a wonderful performance from them, and they had put 390 for 5 at close of play on the second day at the M. Chinnaswamy Stadium. So Stuart Binnie has definitely, I think, I have a feeling that Stuart Binnie is going to be a part of the Asia Cup and the T20 World Cup, because he's such a complete package, whether it is his batting, whether it is his bowling, and also his brilliant fielding. And he is a person who can come there and slam the ball when the chips are down, and also his useful bowling, as we have already seen. He took 3 for 35. And just looking at the rest of India's squad, another thing which is very, very important to note is that Gautam Gambhir was there in the team, but Gautam Gambhir once again failed. He was LBW bowled Stuart Binnie for 22 with 1 boundary, and Dinesh Karthik did a good turn for himself. In fact, he was the highest scorer, contributing 91 with 14 boundaries. Amit Mishra made a useful 47 with 7 fours and 1 6, and Harbhajan Singh, the captain, contributing 25 with 3 boundaries. As far as the other batsmen, Jivanjot Singh was the opener along with Gautam Gambhir. He collected a duck. Baba Aparajit, of whom much has been talked about as far as India is concerned, is known to be a very good talent. He contributed only 2 runs. Then we had Mandeep Singh, who is a good talent, who has played in the IPL. He has done a good, he has been noted as a very talented person, but he failed here at this time when he was out for 5 to Stuart Binnie. Other than that, Anurit Singh was duck. Ashok Dinda duck. So Ashok Dinda and Pankaj Singh are the pace bowlers along with Anurit Singh. And let's have a look now at the Karnataka innings. So Karnataka have already taken a very, very big lead here in this going into the third day, because they have taken 189 runs lead. Robin Uthappa. Now Karnataka were with Robin Uthappa and Rahul opening. Robin Uthappa was out for a blob. So Robin Uthappa, I'm sure he has lost his chance unless he plays a very good knock. As I said, the Indian selectors are sitting today to select the team for the Asia Cup and the T20 World Cup. In the sense, Tuesday the team is going to be announced. So he was gone for a duck. So that was not a good thing for Robin Uthappa. KL Rahul, who performed very well in this year's Ranji Trophy, was very impressive, contributing 35 with 7 boundaries, a good stroke maker. Ganesh Satish impressed by making 84 with 11 fours, 36 from Manish Pandey with 7 fours. Nair, in fact, everyone contributed. In fact, it's a totally this particular 390 that the Ranji Trophy champions Karnataka put against rest of India is full of very substantial contributions. Nair making 92 with 12 fours, but Stuart Binnie going on to make 115 unbeaten runs towards stumps with 14 fours and 3 sixes. He's still not finished, and as I said, for me, Stuart Binnie would be an automatic inclusion for the Asia Cup and also or for the T20 World Cup coming up in Bangladesh. Looking at the bowling, Ashok Dinda 1 for 93 was costly. Pankaj Singh 2 for 78, 1 for 78. Nothing to talk about as far as the bowling is concerned. Harbhajan Singh, well, if you look at it, he bowled 14 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 56. Whereas Amit Mishra, the leg spinner, bowled 14 overs, 2 maidens, none for 56. So these are the 2 persons that the Indian selectors would be looking at. But but they have to really put up a much better performance than what they have. So I think the Ranji Trophy champions Karnataka on the ascendant and showing why they are Ranji Trophy champions by giving a real hard time to the rest of India squad. Well, so from here I'm going to shift on the attention. I'm taking you down to the West Indies, and we'll keep the focus on West Indies because I have never been speaking about it. Now this is a Super 50 tournament which is going on in West Indies, a domestic tournament, but they have invited the one team, and that is the associate nation Ireland, who are there. And as far as associate Ireland are concerned, this is known as the Nagiko Super 50 tournament, which is played between all the county teams there in West Indies. And Nagiko Super 50, Zone A, Zone B, it has been divided. And Ireland, after playing so many matches, they lost all the matches to a lot of other teams, but they picked up a consolation win, I would say, because they had a victory by 64 runs over Windward Islands. Now, as far as Ireland were concerned, the highest score was scored by Niall O'Brien with 44 of 63 balls with 2 fours and 1 6. 32 coming in from Shane Thompson of 42 balls with 2 fours and 1 6, and Ireland made 179 all out. As far as the bowling was concerned for the Windward Islands, Delon Johnson bowled excellently, 9.3 overs, 3 maidens, 25 runs and 3 wickets. Emmanuel 1 for 24, Liam Sebastian 10 overs, 1 maiden, 236 for him, and one wicket apiece to Bob and Polis. And as far as the Windward Islands were concerned, they found a weight of 179 too good for them, and they were all out for 115. Johnson Charles was out very cheaply for 1, the West Indian opener. 27 from Theophile was the highest score, so that really gives you a real look into things as how Windward Islands shaped up. The 27 was the highest score, which was scored by T. Theophile. As far as the Ireland bowling was concerned, Eng bowled 4 overs from 21, but George Doctor, the left-arm spinner, a talented bowler, bowled excellently well to pick up 7 overs, 1 maiden, 14 runs and 3 wickets. Shane Thompson 1 for 13, 1 for 16 for Max Sorensen, and 2 wickets to Pointer, 1 for 11. Peter Sterling 7 overs, 2 minutes, 1 for 13, and George Dockrell of Ireland for his splendid bowling was named man of the match. Now we are going to shift the focus on to another match. Now again we are keeping the focus still on the Nagiko Super 50 One-Day International Tournament, and this was a match which was played between Trinidad and Tobago and combined campuses, who did very well, as you know, in last year, and combined campuses were sent packing by Trinidad Tobago, as Trinidad Tobago won the match by 7 wickets. Not only did they win the match, they went into the semi-finals of the Nagiko Super 50 tournament here at the Queen's Park Oval, Port of Spain in Trinidad, as combined campuses and colleges were rooted for 98. In fact, they were all out for 98, with the bowling being led by Dwayne Bravo, the captain, the West Indian T20 captain, as he came on. In fact, he bowled 10 overs, 4 maidens, 19 runs and 3 wickets, well supported by Mohammed, the Rana spinner, 10 overs, 1 maiden, 19 runs and 3 wickets, a picture of economy there. And then 1 wicket apiece to Ravi Ram Paul, 1 for 18, Sunil Narine picking up 1 for 14, and Ryan Emmerich 1 for 23. So everyone chipping in. As far as combined campuses and colleges were concerned, for combined campuses and colleges, the highest score for them was done by Reefer, who was run out for 27 with 2 boundaries, 18 coming from Alain. So only 3 people who reaching double figures there, with Mears making 19. Other than that, that was it as far as the combined campuses and colleges were concerned. And Trinidad, chasing that very, very paltry total of just 98 runs, were really sailing pretty smoothly, with the openers giving them a good start. Lendy Simmons contributing 38 of 41 balls with 5 fours and 1 6. Lewis contributing a hard hit 44 of 27 balls with 7 fours and 2 sixes. Dwayne Bravo was not out on 5. Adrian Bharat unfortunately failed. Cotton Ball Jacobs for 1. Mohammed was not out on 5. And Trinidad and Tobago winning the match they won the match in the 16th over itself by 7 wickets, and went on to the semi-finals of the Nagiko Super 50 tournament. As far as the bowling was concerned, nothing to really talk about as far as the bowling is concerned. 3 wickets apiece to Jacobs, Hodge and Dewar, and Jason Mohammed for his all-round performance was named man of the match. Well, so this is as far as cricket is concerned. Now, just some other news that I'm just going to share with you is Bangladesh. As you know, the Test series between Sri Lanka and Bangladesh was over, and it all shifted to the one-day internationals, I reckon, or the T20s. I think it's the T20s, I suppose. Just trying to have a look at it and see what exactly it is. I'll be telling you that pretty shortly. Just wanting to see what I'm not really sure whether it is a T20 or one-day international. I'm trying to find that out for you, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. And I have a feeling it is the T20s, which is coming up between Bangladesh and West Indies. So the thing. Okay, and now just keeping it on Bangladesh. So for that, I just wanted to tell you that Tamim Iqbal, who didn't have a very good tournament against Sri Lanka, in the sense that he didn't have a good series against Sri Lanka, was definitely given the chance to lead Bangladesh in the T20s, but he sent a letter to Akram Khan, the coach of the Bangladesh Cricket Board, saying that he would like to actually, since he is in some poor form, he would like to concentrate on his batting, and so he had declined the vice captaincy, and the vice captaincy has gone to Mashraf-e Murtaza, the experienced player. So he is the one who is going to be leading Bangladesh in the two-match 2020 series, which is starting with the first T20 between Bangladesh and Sri Lanka at Chittagong on 12th of February. So that is the thing. And as you know, Mushfiqur Rahim is not there for the T20s because of a finger injury. So that is other news. And another news is that Bangladesh, skipping the news as far as Bangladesh is concerned, is that Bangladesh are going to be touring India. This is the first full-fledged tour that Bangladesh will be undertaking, where they will be playing against India in all the three formats of the game, and that will be on T20s, one-day international, and test matches. So in 2016, the Bangladesh will have a full-fledged tour of India, and Bangladesh have already they're trying to see to it that they play 50 test matches in this particular 2014. Now that is some news. The other news that we have as far as cricket is concerned, as I said, I've been scanning every nook and cranny to bring you some cricket news, and as far as the other cricket news is concerned, I'm really trying to see how to actually get you the cricket news. Well, dear fans and subscribers, unfortunately, due to paucity of time, that's about it as far as cricket news is concerned. As I said, today it was pretty difficult. I had to dig out the cricket news from somewhere, because, as you know, my cricket show is all about cricket, and not a day will go without your host Ram on this cricket show talking about cricket, because cricket, according to me, is the end thing in my life, and I just love cricket. Cricket is a great passion, and I would love to see lots and lots of cricket nations, lots of nations taking up to cricket in a big way. Well, we have already seen what has happened with Papua New Guinea and Hong Kong now, and United Arab Emirates being the new three associate nations who would be actually they have got a contract now, in the sense they have qualified after the ICC World Qualifiers. Now they are the ones who would be actually taking part in the what do you call as far as the associate nations are concerned. They would be the ones who would be playing a lot of cricket. They displaced Kenya, Netherlands, and Canada from the mix. So the three new associate nations, as I've already told you on my cricket happening show. I just wanted to share that with you, as I had nothing else to talk about cricket. But well, dear fans and subscribers, nothing else to really add. It has been always a great pleasure bringing you this cricket happening show day in and day out. And thanks for your company as always. Your host Ram will be seeing you tomorrow on your next daily cricket happening show. Until then, it's goodbye. Thank you.